Have you ever felt like your emotions were spiraling out of control? Like you're constantly on edge, ready to explode at any moment? Well, what if I told you there's a simple technique that could change all that? A method so powerful it's transformed countless lives, including my own. Today, I'm going to share with you the single most important tool I've discovered on my journey to emotional healing. It's not a magic pill or a quick fix, but a practice that can lead you to daily inner peace, even on your toughest days. This technique has completely revolutionized my relationships, both with myself and with others. It's helped me find emotional regulation in ways I never thought possible. So, what is this life-changing method? I've called it Somatic Awareness, and it's about to become your new best friend. But before we dive into the details, let's talk about why we react the way we do when we're upset. Understanding this is crucial for making the most of the somatic awareness technique. When we're faced with stress or conflict, our bodies typically respond in one of three ways: fight, flight, or freeze. These reactions are deeply ingrained in our nervous system, evolved over millennia to keep us safe. The way we respond is based on how we've regained our power in the past. It's like a survival strategy that our brain has learned and reinforced over time. If you tend to fight, it's likely because you didn't feel heard in the past. You learned that expressing yourself forcefully was the only way to get your point across when someone hurt you. On the other hand, if you freeze and internalize your emotions until you're ready to burst, it's because staying quiet helped you regain your power in previous situations. And if you're prone to flight, leaving the situation entirely is how you've learned to protect yourself and regain control. Understanding your default response is the first step towards change. It allows you to recognize your patterns and start to intervene before you react automatically. Now, let's talk about why these reactions can be problematic. While they might have served a purpose in the past, they often lead to disconnection, both from ourselves and from others. When we fight, we might win the argument, but we lose the connection. When we freeze, we bottle up our emotions, leading to physical and emotional distress. And when we flee, we miss opportunities for growth and understanding. So, what's the alternative? This is where somatic awareness comes in. It's a simple yet powerful technique that can help you break free from automatic reactions and find a more balanced response. Somatic awareness is all about bringing your attention to your physical sensations in the present moment. It's a way of grounding yourself when emotions threaten to overwhelm you. Here's how it works. When you feel yourself getting upset, instead of focusing on what's making you angry or the person you're in conflict with, you turn your attention inward. You ask yourself, where am I feeling this in my body? Maybe it's a tightness in your chest, a knot in your stomach, or tension in your shoulders. By focusing on these physical sensations, you're giving yourself attention and love. You're acknowledging your feelings without getting caught up in the story behind them. This simple shift in focus can be enough to interrupt the cycle of escalating emotions. It gives a moment of pause, a chance to respond rather than react. But here's the thing. Somatic awareness is just the beginning. While it's incredibly effective, its effects can be temporary. As soon as your mind drifts back to the triggering thoughts, you might feel those intense emotions rising again. That's where the next step comes in, engaging your senses. This is a powerful way to anchor yourself in the present moment and further calm your nervous system. If you're in a situation where you can listen, try focusing on the sounds around you. Start with the most obvious sounds, then see if you can pick up on more subtle noises in the background. If you're eating, really pay attention to the flavors and textures in your mouth. Notice the temperature of the food, the way it feels on your tongue. If listening or tasting isn't an option, you can focus on touch. Feel the texture of your clothes against your skin or the sensation of your feet on the ground. Another option is to visually name objects around you. This engages your visual sense and your cognitive functions, further grounding you in the present. Now here's a crucial point. For this technique to work when you're upset, you need to practice it when you're calm. It's like building a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. So start today. Take a few moments each day to practice somatic awareness and engaging your senses. The more familiar you become with these techniques, the more naturally they'll come to you in moments of stress. When you consistently practice this, something amazing happens. Not only do you become better at regulating your emotions in the moment, but you also start to process situations differently overall. You become what some call the observer. This is the part of you that can step back and look at situations more objectively, rather than getting caught up in the heat of the moment. It's like you're accessing a higher level of consciousness. You're no longer at the mercy of your automatic reactions. Instead, you're able to respond thoughtfully and intentionally. This shift can have profound effects on your relationships. When you're no longer reactive, you create space for understanding and connection. You're able to listen more deeply and communicate more effectively. But I want to be clear. This isn't about suppressing your emotions or pretending everything is fine when it's not. It's about feeling your emotions fully while also maintaining a sense of balance and control. It's about being able to say, "I'm feeling angry right now," rather than lashing out in anger. It's about acknowledging your hurt or fear without letting it drive your actions. This practice can be particularly powerful for those who've experienced trauma or lack of emotional validation in their past. It provides a way to self-soothe and self-regulate, skills that may not have been taught or modeled for you growing up. As you become more adept at this practice, you might notice other benefits as well. Many people report improvements in their physical health, as chronic stress and uncontrolled emotions can take a toll on our bodies. You might find that you sleep better, have more energy, or experience fewer stress-related symptoms like headaches or digestive issues. Your relationships might improve as you become more patient, understanding, and able to communicate effectively, even in challenging situations. You might also find that you're better able to pursue your goals and dreams. When you're not constantly derailed by emotional upheavals, you can focus more of your energy on what truly matters to you. But remember, this isn't a quick fix or a one-time solution. It's a practice, a skill that you develop over time. There will still be challenging days and difficult emotions. The difference is that you'll have tools to navigate them more effectively. And here's a pro tip. Don't wait for a crisis to practice these techniques. Incorporate them into your daily life. Use them when you're stuck in traffic, when you're waiting in line, or even when you're watching TV. The more you practice, the more automatic these responses will become. Eventually, you'll find yourself naturally turning to these techniques in moments of stress without even having to think about it. It's like you're rewiring your brain, creating new neural pathways that lead to calm and balance, rather than fight, flight, or freeze. Now, I want to acknowledge that this process can be challenging at first. If you've spent years or even decades reacting in certain ways, it can feel strange or even uncomfortable to try something new. You might feel like it's not working or that you're doing it wrong. That's okay. Be patient with yourself. Remember, you're learning a new skill, and like any skill, it takes time and practice to master. If you find yourself struggling, it might be helpful to seek support. This could be from a therapist, a support group, or even a trusted friend who can encourage you in your practice. And remember, this isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Celebrate every time you remember to use these techniques, even if you don't feel an immediate shift in your emotions. As you continue this practice, you might find that it opens up new avenues for growth and self-discovery. You might become more aware of patterns in your thoughts and behaviors, leading to deeper insights about yourself and your relationships. You might also find that this practice naturally leads you to other forms of mindfulness or meditation. While somatic awareness and sensory awareness are powerful on their own, they can also be gateways to other practices that further enhance your emotional well-being. So, are you ready to transform your emotional life? Are you ready to find a sense of peace and balance, even in the midst of life's challenges? If so, I encourage you to start today, right now, even. Take a moment to scan your body. Notice any areas of tension or discomfort. Then engage your senses. What can you hear? What can you feel? What can you see? Practice this throughout your day, whenever you remember. And if you forget, that's okay. Just start again the next time you think of it. If you found this information helpful, please share this video with someone who might benefit from these techniques. Subscribe to my channel for more content on emotional well-being and personal growth. And most importantly, leave a comment below. What works for you? What challenges have you faced? Your insights could be exactly what someone else needs to hear.